Thank you, Bill. I am humbled and greatly appreciative for this recognition. Thank you so much to Mr. Erwin Silverberg, Scott Hartle, the EL Education Silverberg Leadership Award Committee, my wonderful, supportive husband, and to my family and friends who consistently cheer me on along the way. And of course, I must thank my amazing crew at Hollis Innovation Academy, without whom none of this would be possible. Working alongside you each and every day is such a privilege, and I am so grateful for your incredible passion and dedication. After receiving a surprise call from Erwin Silverberg letting me know that I'd received this award, I began to think about what I was going to say, how I will seize this opportunity to talk to my fellow colleagues, and of course express my sincere gratitude. But as I'm thinking about all of this, my mind started drifting, and I began to contemplate whether I should straighten my hair or leave it curly. Some of you may think that this is trivial, but it's real. It's real. In fact, something this trivial is what I think about before I go into any meeting, any presentation, interview, or event. So what does my hair have to do with anything? I want to begin by taking you back to January 2016. I was sitting at our district's meeting, eating my lunch. My superintendent called me over to her table and dropped what felt like a bomb on me. I must close my small neighborhood school that I had led for 5 years by May of 2016 and open a new, never existed pre-K through 8 massive school in the heart of Atlanta by August 2016. You see, our superintendent and board decided to close the lowest performing school in the district to avoid state takeover and reopen it as a new school now known as Hollis Innovation Academy. Needless to say, in the words of my students, I was shook. In those few short months, we opened Hollis, but we opened Hollis with the intentional purpose of providing students who were historically marginalized, consistently discounted, and often underestimated, a school that embraces their identity, empowers them to speak their truths, and empowers them also with the knowledge and the skill that will allow them to dream bigger and lead choice-filled lives. So what does my hair have to do with anything? Everything. Let's go back a little further. See, I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia in the 1980s. To ensure that my sister and I received the best education, my parents decided to place us in the majority to minority program. This program required my sister and me to take an hour-long bus ride from the southwest part of Atlanta to the north side called Buckhead. On the ride to school, we could clearly see the scenery change from small, modest homes to immaculate, stately estates. It was presumed that we would have a better curriculum, better teachers, more resources, and exposure to more opportunities in those schools on the north side of town. Leaving my neighborhood school, my friends, my teachers was very difficult as an 8-year-old. At my new school, I felt isolated, different, and unaccepted, and a large part was because of my hair. Instead of laying flat and being tamed, my daily hairstyle of pigtails would unapologetically stand up and stand out. To this day, to wear my hair curly is sometimes not accepted. My curly hair is bold, unique, resilient, non-conforming. Straight hair, as a Black woman in America, is much more culturally accepted and considered appropriate. But to straighten my hair means that I must alter its natural state. I must make it look like something it was never intended to be if I want to avoid taking the risk of being unaccepted. This experience during this period of my life had a profound impact on my leadership and educational philosophy. Since the tender age of 8, I have become accustomed to taking risks, doing things that feel unnatural, and going with the twists and the turns. So in 2016, when I was charged in opening Hollis, I took a risk in adopting EL education as our model and curriculum. This was my chance to give students the kind of high-quality curriculum that I had to travel across town to receive. So what does my hair have to do with anything? Everything. Like my curly hair, this risk was bold, unique, and non-conforming. I received so much input and advice while I was in the planning stages of Hollis. I can recall receiving advice that discouraged me from implementing the EL modules because they were too hard for our students, and our students could not read well enough, and they will just get frustrated. I thought, really? Is that what we are doing? Curriculum now is for some and not all. Now they agreed that this was an interesting curriculum with thought-provoking modules and a balance of literacy. But the safest and surest way to get children like mine, who look like me, to read was through low-level readers. So is it because my students are Black and may have reading deficiencies that they don't deserve an opportunity to be challenged, to grapple with problems, to collaborate and discuss? I had to take a stance and a risk. If anything, students like mine, who look like me, should not be held hostage to a mundane, disconnected, unthemed set of passages that gives them no opportunity to become critical thinkers and communicators like their white peers. So what does my hair have to do with anything? Everything. I have learned from experience that the outcome is so beautiful when you do things that are more risky and that feel uncomfortable to you as a leader. When you are not your full, authentic, curly self, and you choose to consistently straighten and weaken your inherently natural and resilient leadership capabilities, you'll get the same results you've always gotten. I choose to be authentic, to be bold, to go with the curly and unpredictable twists and turns. I told my students in 2016 that there were people that said that they could not do this curriculum, and they said it was too hard for them. You know what my kids did? They buckled down and began tackling that challenge, because there is nothing more powerful than a child who believes in themselves. There is nothing stronger than the human spirit that has decided they will persevere. And there is nothing more beautiful than witnessing a Black child's revelation of their strength and their power. After 3 years, the students who were part of the lowest performing school in the district and on the state's list of failing schools made tremendous gains, moving the school off the list. So, I charge you, EL education community, let's go curly. I charge you to question and reflect on your own practices. Are you empowering students through your curriculum choice? I charge you to take a risk. Embrace the unpredictable twists and turns. Be bold and unapologetic. Be a curriculum risk taker. Thank you for listening.